Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's recipe is oxtails in the crock pot. Let's get into the ingredients, shall we? 2.5 to 3 pounds of oxtail, 2 cups of your choice of cooking stock, around 2 cups of water, 1 pepper of your choice, 1 small white onion, 1 Roma tomato, 2 stalks of green onion, 1 carrot, and optional 1 Scotch bonnet pepper or habanero pepper, a few sprigs of fresh thyme, 5 garlic cloves, a few bay leaves, 1 teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of all-purpose seasoning, 1 teaspoon of accent, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of browning sauce. And finally, for washing off our oxtails, I have some white vinegar and I also have a lemon. You can use either or, but whatever you use, make sure you thoroughly clean your oxtail. Almost forgot this ingredient, you guys. A small piece of fresh ginger. So the first thing we're gonna do is thoroughly wash our oxtail using running water. It's gonna go in with the vinegar and I'm gonna squeeze the lemon. It is okay if seeds get in this because all I'm gonna do is strain them out. So make sure you give it a thorough wash until the water, once you pour it out, until the water is clear. After your oxtails are all nice and cleaned, go ahead and add all of the seasonings, including the browning and soy sauce. We're not going to add the black peppercorn, the bay leaf, or the garlic at this time. Just all of your seasonings, and including the soy sauce and the browning sauce. And then you're going to give it a good mix. Just make sure you get all of your oxtails covered with all of the seasonings and also the browning sauce. If you opt to use browning sauce, because not everybody does, and I don't use browning sauce every time I make oxtails, but try not to use too much because it can leave a bitter. It turns out being bitter once it's all cooked. So try not to use too much browning sauce. And also with the soy sauce, try not to use. Just try to do a healthy balance with both of them. Soy sauce is pretty salty. You can get a lower sodium soy sauce, but with those 2 sauces, just try to do a healthy balance between, or even balance between the 2. So now we have our oxtails all nicely covered, you guys. I'm gonna cover this with plastic and let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll come back with our next step. So while we're waiting on our oxtail to marinate, now's a good time to chop up your peppers, your green onion, your white onion, and your tomato. If you opt to use a Scotch bonnet pepper or a habanero pepper, you don't want to chop that up. You're just going to toss that into the crock pot when we're ready to cook. So go ahead and use this time to chop up your veggies, so you can have those all prepared to drop in your crock pot. And so for the veggies, I'm just giving them a nice dice. You can cut them to your heart's desire. I like my veggies chopped pretty finely actually, but bite size would be ideal. Also, I opted for a red sweet pepper for this particular recipe. You can use any color bell pepper you like. You may want to omit the pepper. That's the one thing about oxtails. There's so many different types of styles you can cook them, and it's just a very, very, very versatile dish. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish chopping up the veggies, and we'll move right along to our next step. So when it comes to the garlic cloves, this recipe calls for 5 garlic cloves. I took 2 out and I went ahead and minced them. The other 3, along with the ginger, are fresh thyme, the peppercorns, and the bay leaves. I'm gonna go ahead and add those ingredients to a cheesecloth. It's just a personal preference of mine. I prefer that these flakes of thyme not be, floating around, for lack of better words, in my oxtails. The flavor will definitely go into the oxtail, but I just prefer these ingredients to be put in a cheesecloth, and then I'll just tie it up, and when I'm ready to put everything in the crock pot and start cooking, that's what I'll do. I'll add this, but it's a personal preference of mine. You do not have to do this. You can throw everything in the crock pot and just cook it all together. That's one of the great things about crock pot recipes, but I did want to share that with you guys. All right, I went ahead and grabbed my black cast iron. Now it's time to go ahead and brown these oxtails. And more sizzle time. So with the oxtails, she's getting late. I have the heat on medium high, and we're gonna go for about 2 to 3 minutes on either side. The goal is to brown them, and again, with the versatility of this dish, you can use however much time you need to get to the desired color, if you will, to your liking. So I'm going to go in about 2 to 3 minutes, we'll see, on each side. You guys, the marination on this thing, oh my God, it smells so amazing in this kitchen. Oh my goodness. And only marinated them for about 40 minutes. Oh my God. Oh, you guys, smells so amazing. So it's been about 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and flip them over. Looks good to me. That's my desired brownie. So this one can go, after pan is a bit powder, this one can go a little more, but that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and continue the browning process. You guys, I'm actually going to try and get them on all sides, so including the side here, these sides. But I like to start with the top and the bottom of the oxtail when it comes to browning. So I'm going to continue with the browning process, and I'll see you guys at the next step. So we're all done with the browning process. Before I transfer these oxtails into my crock pot, I just wanted to make sure to show you guys what they look like in terms of how brown I want them to be for myself. If you want them browner, you can add more browning sauce, cook them a little longer, or you can add more soy sauce. But I put them in this, as you can see, it's a white my ceramic pan, so you can see the contrast and you can see the brown color on them, because once I transfer them into my crock pot, it's black, so you won't really see this. So just sharing this with you guys. On to the next thing. Okay, so we're gonna go in and add the oxtail to our crock pot. I'm going to add both the green and white onion right now. I'm also going to add the minced garlic, those 2 minced garlic cloves, the Scotch bonnet, or in that case, it's a habanero, and I opt to put the ginger, 3 whole garlic cloves, the fresh thyme, and a cheesecloth. I'm going to add that. We're also going to add our 2 cups of whichever cooking stock you choose. And if you don't want to use any kind of cooking stock, you can use water. So that's about 2 cups right there. And I'm also going to come in with the water. Just to make sure everything is kind of mixed in good, I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice little stir. I'm going to go ahead and set my crock pot on high, and the total cook time for this is going to be 5 hours. If you notice, I did not add the tomato, the peppers, or the carrots yet. Sorry. I'm gonna add those 3 about halfway through the cooking process, and it's just a personal preference. Again, you can dump all of the ingredients in here, you guys. Feel free to do that, but it's just a certain, I'm kind of finicky when it comes to me preparing this recipe. So I'll see you after 5 hours. There we go. And here is the finished product of the oxtails. I'll come right back, you guys. I'm gonna add sides to it and plate. So here we go, you guys. This is the final plated product. Of course, the star of the show is right here, these oxtails. So I went ahead and made some yellow rice, some baby green lima beans, and a little cute side salad. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit that like button, everybody within the sound of my voice. And I'll see you next time.